Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two pickup trucks making love, American made.
Listen up, Autothoughts and Decepticons. You're listening to Prime Cuts, a non-linear history of the Transformers franchise on television. I'm one of your hosts, Audrey.
I'm your other host, Nero.
And hey, we're getting to, plot stuff now in Cyberverse.
Found...
Just in time for us to have 2 podcast episodes left.
Yeah, we found a place that looks kind of like the Ark, and that counts for something, somewhere. Unlike my point card of how far are we to completing the plot, that's like 2 points towards that.
Yeah.
We watched episodes 13, 14, and 15, The Matrix of Leadership, Siloed, and King of the Dinosaurs.
We start with Matrix of Leadership. Starting off kind of right where we ended last time with Bumblebee and Teletran X running away and Windblade captured.
Yeah, she's presumably being murdered. I must confess something.
Yeah.
I think I might hate Teletran X.
Yeah, he sucks. He is extremely Wheatley Portal 2 coded.
He's not as funny as Wheatley, though. That's the problem. Wheatley's funny.
Wheatley is oh god, what's it? Moe through incompetence?
That's right.
What is it? Moe through helplessness. Moe through helplessness. That's what it is.
Yeah, this fucking thing is just a pedantic little shit. Who gets dinosaur facts wrong, and that's really its true crime.
Well, that's not for another couple episodes. But in this one, I will say I do think he has a funny line here as they're running away, where he basically goes, Shrek voice, she isn't even a crew member.
Yeah. Bumblebee is he's beating himself up about leaving Windblade behind and all of this stuff. But at least he can live with the knowledge that her sacrifice won't be in vain. This stupid little orb can tell him where the Ark is, right?
You would be incorrect.
Oh. Yeah, Teletran X says he doesn't know where the Ark is because he was ejected from the ship before it crashed.
Now this is a very funny sequence where he actually gets ejected. And unlike Teletran X, Teletran 1 is possibly the funniest character in this series.
Yeah, that's in King of the Dinosaurs, actually. We get to see his activation. But we do get to hear, he tells Bumblebee that because Teletran 1 activated him right before the crash, his memory only goes up to that point. So he actually has no idea where the Ark is. Which Bumblebee gets pretty mad at.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a whole lot of nothing. But hey, Teletran X has a kind of solution. He is a fully licensed cortical patch guide. The worst spiritual guide you could imagine.
I can go into your head.
So, Teletran X takes over Windblade's role. And guides...
What a fucking downgrade.
Give Bumblebee through some memories. And again, just sort of the worst version of introspection.
Yeah, so basically, this is Teletran X's version of giving Bumblebee a pep talk, which is for him to tell him, hey, Optimus used to be a fucking nobody lame-ass bitch too, so why couldn't you? And we get a very, very condensed speed run of the Optimus Prime origin story here.
Yeah, hey, remember Alpha Trion? Don't worry. He hasn't come up at all in any of our series yet.
No, he hasn't even been mentioned once. It's really funny. The Bumblebee's driving leading Optimus towards Alpha Trion, And Optimus is like, I thought the whole council was killed. And Bumblebee goes, except him, he's fine, but he's also dying. He's beautiful, but he's dying. And I have triples of every seeker.
Found dead in Miami.
I have triples of every seeker and doubles of every Autobot car. Yeah, you've seen the thing. It's like, Optimus, you must become the next Prime. Oh, but I am not worthy. I don't want it. But a true leader never wants power. He must wield it through fate. You've seen stories before.
Yeah, and then Alpha Trion does like the normal thing of
dying,
Magic Brian. I'm going to die now.
Yeah, he just like dies. Optimus gets really glowy, but unlike most continuities where Optimus is like a data clerk, he's already kind of buff. So there's no physical change when he gets to the Matrix.
He doesn't get super soldiered.
He doesn't
do to Steve Rogers here.
He's just like the same. He doesn't even get taller. And
after this memory, do you have something to say about the memory?
Ratchet is also there, I guess, but he's just there to be like, Prime, he's dying.
Yeah, he literally has Alpha Trion on life support. Like, that's what Ratchet is there for.
Yeah.
After this memory, Bumblebee like comes out of it and is like, damn, I don't know what to do because I'm supposed to save the world, and like if Optimus were here, he could do it, but like I'm not ready to be a leader. And Teltran X is like, no, you are not.
My data tracks have you as bitch ass motherfucker.
It's like, yeah, it says here you're a scout, not a leader. It's pretty far away, so yeah, seems like you're ill prepared for that role.
So it
kind
shows
of a bummer.
It shows him in other memories. Like, well, hey, listen, you're just a scout, but you don't have to be a born leader to embody leadership. And we see the second half of this sentence that I'm not saying because it's funny or not to, but the second half of that sentence was, it says you're a scout. It also said the Optimus was a data clerk before that, so that's also pretty far away from being a leader. Yeah, he has Optimus's job as data clerk in his data tracks, which makes me think they just need to update that more often.
Yeah, really bad HR with the Autobots, huh?
He's been not
ever since they switched over to ADP.
Yeah, he's been not a data clerk for like 3 million years, guys. Come on. But yeah, we get our next memory here, which is Wheeljack and Bumblebee pinned down in combat. They're like, oh my god, we left Prowl behind. We gotta go after him. It's like, no man, it's suicide to go back
down.
There. Officer down.
Officer down.
But it's okay. Optimus is here. He's got a shield in the shape of an Autobot face. And he's got Prowl over his shoulder, and he's running like Prowl is a football.
Officer down.
Officer back up, unfortunately. This is Prowl's
first
appearance.
Not while he's slung over Optimus' shoulder like a football.
Prowl's first appearance right here. He is unconscious for most of it, so not exactly the most illustrious debut, but he is here now. You can see half a second of him every episode in the intro. He's like at the very end for like literally 2 frames.
Back her boys in blue.
God.
Yeah, it's fine. It's like it like the entire point of this memory is just for like Optimus to be superhero mode.
Yeah, he's like, oh, look how badass he is.
And also specifically to be like, we don't leave Autobots behind, and then like for Bumblebee to get back out of it and be like, I left Windblade behind.
Yeah. So the third memory here is Optimus and Bumblebee fighting the Seekers. And
now, this part is the best part of this episode.
Yes, because Starscream is here.
Specifically, they give Starscream a really fun ability in Cyberverse, which he actually uses not all the time, but frequently enough for it to not be like a throwaway thing. So it is, I guess, it is Starscream, Thundercracker, and I keep wanting to say Skywarp, but no, it's Nova Storm.
It should be Skywarp. I don't
It
know
should be
why
Skywarp.
it's Nova Storm.
I don't know why it's either, but it should be Skywarp. If I call her Skywarp, I apologize. It's Nova Storm, but like it's a black and purple seeker who is like the third of the elite trine here, so it should be Skywarp. They like basically chase Bumblebee and Optimus down into an abandoned shell of a building.
Into an abandoned boss fight arena.
Right, you're right. Starscream takes the lead, and again, like, shows some pretty good fighting moves. He has a really sick, like, jump kick.
Yeah, I like his rocket spin kick. That was pretty badass.
He has a rocket spin kick that he, like, sends Optimus flying with, and then he follows it up with this ability. In Cyberverse, Starscream lives up to his name, and he has the ability to Banshee Shriek in a way that does serious concussive harm.
I think he's only ever been able to do this, in my memory, once before, and only in season 3 of Animated when he's just ahead for a variety of reasons. He has.
But there's a lot going on with him at that point.
Yeah, he's a sort of a crime against nature at that point, but that's fine. But yeah, Sonic.
I mean, arguably, if you look at Starscream in most continuities, that's his outlier ability as being a crime against nature. But
I'm God's mistake.
But TFA really takes it to the extreme.
But yeah, give Starscream ability. That seems right to me. Hey, this is where Teletran X has the line, yeah, I have you in my databanks as a scout, and I have Optimus Prime in my databanks as a file clerk. We can all be a hero, Bumblebee. And he's like, fuck, I gotta go back for Windblade.
Also, well, before that, he also has Optimus in his files as someone behind vehicular manslaughter. Because
yeah, he does.
That is how the Seekers lose here, for the record. Starscream has them on the ground for a bit, and then Optimus transforms and literally runs him over.
Yeah, he does the Transformers Devastation combo. He hits him with the fucking truck attack by putting his shield on the front of his truck mode and just ramming into Starscream.
Yeah. So anyway, he very graciously allows them to escape, which was his first mistake. But he does.
And that brings us to episode 14, which is called Siloed, which starts so pleasantly. It's Bumblebee and Windblade back on Cybertron, playing some pickup cube, some street cube, just having a good time with your bestie, you know. And then it's revealed, yeah, it's never mind. Windblade is being interrogated.
It's not much of an interrogation, honestly. Like, Slipstream just has her hooked up to a cortical patch.
Yeah, they're basically just sifting through her memories.
Like, it's not, they're not, like, torturing her or anything. She's just, like, immobilized and can do nothing about them going into her brain.
Yeah, like, but also Slipstream is really mad that not every single one of her memories has to do with where the Ark is. She's like, what the fuck? This is all just Windblade hanging out with people.
The other two guards with her, by the way, are Thundercracker and Acid Storm, whose gender has also been transed.
Yes. So this happened. This is interesting because I'm pretty sure this happened because of an animation error, but then it just became real. I don't know if Acid Storm flips back and forth or if Acid Storm just gets their gender trans.
That's right, because Acid Storm was in the Cube episode.
Yeah, Acid Storm was a dude last time they showed up, but now they are not, and so whatever happened, you know, you get hit with the transfer gender beam. You know, it happens sometimes.
I mean, listen, they're called the Rainmakers because they're so fluid. You know.
That's right.
Dun, 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 dun.
And yeah, Windblade kind of wakes up and Slipstream puts on the fucking bad cop moves. Like, ooh, I've already got everything I wanted. But, and save us the trouble and tell us verbally. Then I'll just waste you. And Slipstream, or Windblade just turns to Thundercracker.
To Slipstream's credit, she isn't actually that stupid.
No.
What Slipstream says instead is, we already have what we need. The only reason I haven't ended you yet is because I'm waiting for Commander Starscream's
That's true.
order. She doesn't say, why don't you tell us, though? Just to confirm.
Yeah, and so Windblade just turns to Thundercracker and goes, is that true? And Thundercracker says, no, she was just bluffing to try and look more threatening.
I love how fucking stupid Thundercracker is in Cyberverse.
Textually, according to Shockwave, all of the Seekers are dumb as fuck. And I can't disagree with him on like 90% of them, frankly.
Okay, well, there's a combination of things that work. One is Shockwave has, in Cyberverse, has one of the strongest superiority complexes of any animated Shockwave, at least. He doesn't match comics.
Yeah, that's something else.
Yeah. He doesn't match comic Shockwave, who is on a whole different level. Though, to be fair, he did avenge religion and also fascism, so, I guess, sort of justified. But of the animated versions of Shockwave, Cyberverse Shockwave has one of the highest opinions of himself, which is still saying something, since Shockwave is...
That's why all his little drones look like him.
Is famously. The other thing is that he works very closely with Starscream, who he can't stand.
Yeah, that would sour one's opinion on all of the jets.
Yeah.
It's like, oh god.
Working for Starscream made him racist.
Jesus Christ. So, anyway, Slipstream
They
decides...
both suck so uniquely in this episode, by the way.
Oh, I love the world's worst Zoom call that happens in this episode. I thought it was so bad. I thought Slipstream had been knocked unconscious and was having a nightmare. That's how bad it was. No, it's real though.
Oh, this is my first note for this actual episode is talk about a hostile work environment.
Oh, it's so bad. So. Slipstream basically orders something called a memory rip.
She gets a call from
Thrust.
Is it Thrust? Okay. So she gets a call from Thrust, who's basically like, "Hey, Captain, just want to remind you that you have to check in with, give your report to Commander Starscream soon." And she's like, "Thank you, you moron. I know I have to give my report to Commander Starscream soon." And she's desperate to get something from Windblade for this. And Thrust is like, "Oh, and also a reminder that Shockwave's gonna be there this time." And she's like, "What?"
Yeah, oh god, I really gotta get something in. So yeah, she orders this memory rip. And both Thundercracker and Acid Storm are like, that could fuck her shit all the way up. And Windblade, or Slipstream just goes, And
I'm kind of into that. Do it.
Who gives it? Just do it. Do you think I care? So we get some stock footage time with past episodes of Cyberverse. We see a lot of the big events, but to Slipstream it doesn't mean anything. So she goes over to the memory rip dial and cranks it up higher.
No, Slipstream has already left at that point. It's Acid Storm who does it.
Oh, you dumb motherfucker.
So Slipstream is like, I have to, I'm going to go stall for time. I'm going to try to stall for time in front of Starscream and Shockwave.
Actually, we're out of order. Acid Storm starts it. Slipstream gets the call from Thrust here after going up to crank it and then crank the dial up.
I know it's Acid Storm because she's the one who cranks it, at least, because she's the one who says orders are orders.
Right. Anyway, this results in Windblade releasing a gigantic wave of energy and knocking everybody unconscious.
Yeah, so we have 5 Seekers in the building right now. We have Thundercracker and Acid Storm who are in the room right now with Windblade. Uh-huh. In the hallway, Thrust and Nova Storm are heading towards the room, And Slipstream has just moved past them towards, I guess, like the center of the ship to take the world's worst Zoom call. And they all, in progression, get knocked out by the shockwave that is generated by them cranking Windblade up to 11.
Probably not the best idea to, like, mind jack a psychic. Seems like it could have some consequences.
You know. Luckily for Slipstream, though, it seems that it doesn't knock her out for that long.
No, she's up and
she
about
doesn't
pretty
miss
quickly.
the call. She's just a couple minutes late to it.
She actually gets woken up by Shockwave and Starscream ring. Where the fuck is she? She's so fucking unprofessional. I hate this shit. This shit I have to deal with.
Specifically it's Starscream doing this and Shockwave saying nothing.
Yeah, he's
and looking extremely annoyed.
As much as one can look annoyed with literally no face and a single eyeball. By the way, you know what I like about Cyberverse Shockwave? He's got an extra
his
little
eyeball
head.
Moves.
One, his eyeball moves, and two, he's got a little extra head on top of his head that looks like G1 Shockwave.
Yes, yeah. His eye is very expressive in Cyberverse because they give him a full eyelid. So he's able to narrow his eye very expressively.
So, and it basically, Slipstream goes up there to give a report, and Starscream just screams at her for 2 minutes and then hangs up.
Yeah, God, what is it he actually said? They're so uniquely different. Like
he's threatening to reassign her to like podunk nowhere, basically.
Oh, to something pathetic. That's the word. It's like when I get there, like when I get to, so he's like, "What took you so long?" And she's like, "I was out," and he's like, "What?" And then she's like, "Well, I was trying to get something from Windblade, but we'll get it soon. It's just a matter of time." And Starscream's like, "Well, clearly that's a lie, because if you were able to do it, you'd have done it by now. But I'm just gonna fucking do it. When I get to Earth, it'll be fine. I'll take over, and you'll be reassigned to something pathetic." And then he, like, storms off.
Yeah, he hangs up. And Shockwave still has said nothing at this point, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And then this is when he begins to talk. He's like, "Actually, Starscream was wrong. You actually did find something interesting." And Slipstream perks up a minute, and Shockwave just goes, No, it's because you were too fucking stupid to realize that you'd found something. It's okay. I understand that you Seekers are all extremely fucking dumb, so I'm gonna explain this to you very simply. And basically he said, he brings up the footage of Windblade coming through the space bridge, and he's like, "Hey, this means that they fixed the space bridge, which means we can also fix the space bridge, so we can bring more Decepticons to Earth."
Yeah, and Slipstream's like, "Yes, sir, we'll do that for you right away." And Shockwave's like, "You will not, because you will be unable to, unless you have instructions written out for you that even a small child could handle, because again, you are all idiots." And Slipstream's like, "Well,
you the IKEA instructions, you dumb motherfucker."
Yeah, Slipstream's like, "Well, I don't know." And Shockwave's like, "I have sent this instructions for a small child to your inbox."
And yeah, he says he's gonna be coming to Earth himself. So and Windblade's like, "Oh great, so Starscream's coming to Earth and Shockwave's coming to Earth. I'm gonna have just a terrible fucking time." Which, by the way, I'm pretty sure this is the entire Decepticon force on Earth right now. These 5 fucking Seekers.
These 5 buffoons.
Yeah, the fucking cream of the crop.
I will say it is kind of refreshing to have this many cringe fail women characters.
It is. It's been so long. Black Arachne is not really a cringe fail lady. In fact, she's usually the one who's making maneuvers, But all these ladies are dumb as a bag of hammers.
Yeah, I mean, she's no more cringe fail than any of the people around her.
Waspinator's existence really skews the scale for Beast Wars in terms of being cringe fail.
I mean, all of the Preds are pretty cringe
Waspinator
fail.
and Scorponok. But yeah, but those they in particular are like.
And Pterosaur, come on now.
That's true.
Tarantula, come on now.
Tarantulas, he's got some sauce. He's just,
Oh, don't say that.
He's got some sauce, and don't ask him where he gets it. So
corked off white bot goated with the sauce.
That's right. He is busting it down sexual style. And no, you don't want to be in the room when that happens. So
revolting.
Windblade wakes up and is like, "Ooh, I'm all better now." So she goes over to the console and locate. A couple episodes ago, they brought up the fact that the Seekers had locked onto an Autobot signal somewhere. So she goes, gets the location for that, and starts to head on out. And she takes a break to seemingly murder Thrust and Novastorm. They probably aren't dead, but it sure does look like they are.
Yeah. Well, they're not dead yet, is what I will say.
What happens is Windblade cuts does the samurai movie thing of swinging her sword so fast you can't see it, cuts their guns off. And Slipstream is on comms with them, and you just see Windblade leap towards them with her sword out, and then the line just goes dead. So I was like, oh, she must have murdered them. Which, judging from what Slipstream says in the next scene, probably isn't unusual for Windblade.
Yeah. So this scene's a little weird. It focuses a lot on Windblade's sword, which has really not been mentioned at all.
So, yeah, you'd think,
to this point.
She just has a cool sword. And no, you fucking idiot. Of course it's not just a cool sword. This is the Stormfall Blade, which is like the holy blade of Caminus or something. And she's wielded it throughout the war, and Slipstream's like, you felled so many Decepticons with this thing. How ironic that I will be the one to kill you with it.
Yeah.
Now, listener, you may be wondering, how is Windblade gonna get out of this jam? She gets disarmed and gets her cool sword stolen. What's she gonna do?
Hey, what's the one thing Windblade always does in these situations?
It's in the name. She pulls out her little wind blades. By the way, there's a line she has where she says, it's not about the blade, it's about the bot who uses it. I really thought she was going to say it's not about the blade, it's about the wind. And yeah, she has they should have made these things look cooler. They're just big air hockey pucks that she's sword fighting with. It does not look particularly badass, is all I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, they're supposed to, conjure the image of Shuriken.
They aren't doing a very good job. They don't have any sharp edges.
Well, I think the idea being, when it's spinning.
Yeah, but with the how low poly it is, you can't really tell when it's spinning. Because other versions of Windblade, for sure, you get that visual. But with this version, they're just kind of circles.
Yeah, it's not great.
So she and Slipstream,
she wins.
Yeah, she and Slipstream play a game of Ultimate Frisbee, and she wins. By the way, so is Windblade just really strong, or is all this stuff on Earth kind of flimsy? Because
I think probably Windblade is about average strength for a Cybertronian, which I think is probably pretty strong.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe, I guess a missile silo door, probably isn't that hard to pry open for a Cybertronian if it's a fucking human-sized missile silo, right?
I mean, imagine you weighed 15 tons or whatever.
Yeah. So she flies up and tries to get out, but Slipstream grabs onto her leg. It's like, now don't go.
This silo is long. And what happens here is, this is important, because what happens here is Bumblebee finally arrives to the rescue. And he does what he does best, and he uses his stinger to paralyze Slipstream, making her let go of Windblade and fall into a bottomless pit.
She's probably fine. Yeah, Thundercracker and Acid Storm will wake up in a minute and put her back together. It's all good. This
is as bad as Slipstream has ever done it.
Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing. you can't tell anyone else about this one. You just can't say how Windblade escaped. You have to make it sound way cooler. Well, you have to extend the fight by at least 15 more minutes and add in a bunch of more flips. You cannot just go, yeah, she escaped when that little yellow bitch that talks through the radio poked me, and I fell down a hole and broke all my cyber bones.
Imagine her next check-in.
I don't want to. But anyway,
and
they're
that's
reunited.
Siloed.
They're reunited. Teletran X says something annoying, and they fly off to recover the Autobot signal. So that brings us right into King of the Dinosaurs, where we learned that Teletran X is forklift certified.
I think what we learned is that Teletran X is not forklift certified, actually.
That's true. He is a workplace hazard, and he needs to be fired. They're digging a hole in city somewhere. What? Okay. So there's no humans in the show. We'll get
this is the funniest episode for this.
The thing that they do in this episode is fucking insane. So they're digging.
They are truly in a ghost town. Like it's so funny. It's like, oh god.
It's like a fucking city in a skybox in a video game, right? Like it's like a
God, wait. What's the other cartoon I'm thinking of where they just didn't want to draw extra people, so it's all these scenes with like no people in the background?
I mean, there are humans in Prime, but Jasper
No.
It's like bare.
No, it's like a completely different series, but I can't remember.
Do you remember what channel it was on? Do you remember what it was about?
No. Oh my god, no background character.
Was it like a CG?
It was definitely 2D animation.
Okay. I mean, there's lots of shows with like limited casts that make decisions based on who they want to show, right? Like Ed, Edd n Eddy not having any adults in it or whatever.
Yeah, I just remember that there was this other one where I just well, whatever.
If you remember a show where they didn't want to draw people in it and it was 2D animated, that's all we've got. Write in, I guess, and tell us what if you're some kind of psychic. It may have even been like
an anime.
Oh, that does ring a bell. But yeah. Okay, there's another clue for you. It's an anime, maybe. So, figure it out, our psionic warriors. Anyway, they're doing that thing. Did you ever get a thing from like a museum where it was like a fake dinosaur dig? It's like a little sandbox that you got to excavate the bones out of.
Oh, I didn't, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
that's basically what they're doing here. They're digging a big hole in a construction site, and they find a Grimlock. He's here, and he's a dinosaur now.
Well, what they find is a T-Rex. And Teletran X goes, congratulations! In the same tone of voice a doctor would congratulate a new mother after delivering her child. Congratulations! Your friend is a T-Rex!
Yeah, and he's like, this is a Tyrannosaurus Rex. He is often called the king of the dinosaurs. And Windblade and Bumblebee go like, oh shit, that's what MacAdam told us in his weird fucking time-displaced prophecy. That dude's crazy. He experiences time non-linearly. Anyway, Teletran X scans him and reveals that it's Grimlock, who has been buried here for 65 million years.
Sorry, I just remembered what it was I was thinking of.
Oh, did you? Did you figure
it out? Yeah, it's fucking Kingdom Hearts.
Oh my god. Oh, is that why Trevor's town is so fucking empty?
Yeah, it's fucking Kingdom Hearts and why there's no one in the Coliseum.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's fucking Kingdom Hearts.
Time to fight super edgy Cloud in a completely empty Coliseum.
And like the Hydra. All of it.
Great stuff.
Just like completely empty Coliseum. That's what it is. Yeah, no, it's just like Kingdom Hearts.
So they're like, well, Grimlock's energy source has been dormant for a really long time, but he's got like 1% juice left. So with a big enough jolt of energy, we should be able to revive him. And Windblade goes, hey, what if we cause a gigantic blackout in that city down there? And so they do it.
Well, it's not like anyone's using it.
Yeah, it's fine. What if we cause a gigantic blackout in that completely empty city?
Yeah.
So they do. They hook a bunch of jumper cables up to the T-Rex and boost him awake.
I do like this interpretation of Grimlock, because you get some of the classic, like, when he's in alt mode, like, he basically reroutes his thinking processes, or his energy processes away from his thinking processes towards physical stuff. So you get, like, that classic, like, me Grimlock kind of thing, though not quite as bad. He's still, like, higher functioning, I would say.
Yeah.
Even in his alt mode. But then when he's back into root mode, he's a little gentleman adventurer again.
Yeah, because Teletran X mentions that he has rerouted his neural circuits in beast mode to put more power towards him physically. And you get your classic Grimlock speech pattern for a bit there. But yeah, so basically they kind of do a miniature version of the end of Jurassic Park 2, except there are no people to be in danger because the city is completely deserted, and Grimlock is calmed down by blinking lights and a lullaby. Great.
Well, yeah. So, a king needs a crown, right?
Yeah, so they find a crown along with him. It looks sort of like Starscream's crown from Transformers the movie. And he keeps asking. He doesn't remember who Windblade and Bumblebee are, and he keeps asking about his friends. And they're like, "Where are your friends, Grimlock?" He's like, "No, need crown." So he puts his crown on, and it starts blinking and leading him in a direction.
Yeah, his sleeper agent mode is activated.
Yeah, and so it's like a homing beacon. And
oh, right. Well, one of the things as well is that he's like, "Where are my friends?"
Yeah, he's like, where are Grimlock's friends? And like, we're right here. It's like, no, real friends. Because he doesn't remember who they are. Because he's Dino Brain. So they follow him to this mountain in the middle of fucking nowhere. And he starts labooning the side of the mountain.
Yeah.
I like that as a verb, labooning.
Now, the first time I watched Cyberverse, I thought this was the actual arc.
So did I. I thought that up until Teletran X said it's a perfect replica of the control room of the Ark, and I said, why?
I thought that even after Teletran X said it the first time. I like, oh, Teletran X is just stupid.
Because it's fucking it's wild that he just. Okay, the end of this episode contains several insane things within the span of 30 seconds that we're gonna get to here in a minute. So he cracks open this mountain and reveals this big stone door. Sorry,
we have some stuff mixed up here.
No, we don't.
Yeah, no, in terms of the order, because there is some of the flashback before they turn Grimlock back on.
That's right. We forgot to mention.
So
this is where the flashback happens.
Yeah, so before they turn, because my note here for them turning Grimlock back on is basically Teletran X says, it's like, well, it's not going to happen because he's basically out of power. And they're like, well, basically, does that mean he's out of power? And Teletran X is like, no, he's 1%. And they're like, okay, juice him then. Let's Jurassic Park this shit. But yes, we get a flashback here from Teletran X's perspective of him.
Because they say, like, how the fuck did he get here? He's a dinosaur.
Yeah.
He must have landed, like, so long ago. And so we learn what happened.
Yeah. So Teletran X talks about basically the Ark being collided with on its way past Earth. For some reason, Grimlock was the only one to wake up.
Yeah, he got jolted awake. He was gaslit by Chris Pratt. It's a whole situation. It's a reference to Passengers, if there are any passengers. Remember Passengers?
Oh, I thought you were actually making it a Jurassic World.
No, I was referencing the hit film Passengers. Everyone remember Passengers?
I'm really enjoying these plosives, by the way.
Passengers. Anyway, yeah.
So he wakes up and there's like a hole in the side of the hull.
That's not, you don't generally want that to happen.
Right. And he's like, oops, that he has like this whole like gentleman adventure shtick that's actually quite endearing. Where he's like, wake up into a crisis, of course. Where do you need me? And, you know, he sees some of the pods going out. Some of the pods do escape, by the way. What happened to those boys? Don't worry about it.
They're fucking dead. They crashed into the moon and died.
Yeah. And the last one that Grimlock is able to grab onto just on the way out is Bumblebee. And he's able to hold on long enough just for them to actually be passing over Earth and for when Bumblebee is rimmed away for him to drop into Earth's atmosphere.
This is where Teletran 1 proves it is the funniest bitch in the world. Because Grimlock turns around and goes, Teletran 1, what do I need to do to stop this? And Teletran 1 goes, you must go to my command room. And then Grimlock gets sucked out of the hole and there's just a pause. And then Teletran 1 just goes, never mind. And then we see Teletran X being deployed and immediately shot into space as soon as Teletran 1 is confident that it has its programming right. Because even Teletran 1 cannot stand to be around him.
Yeah. And they go into the city first.
Yeah.
Because Teletran X is the one who actually calms him down with singing.
Yeah, this is because we get the little lullaby thing. So back to the mountain. There's a stone door with a fingerprint scanner in the shape of a T-Rex claw. So they go inside, and it is a perfect replica of the Ark's command room, carved out of stone, but also it does have like real technology and hollow screens and shit. And at some point they mentioned that dinosaur civilization?
Yeah, hey, you've heard of ancient aliens, right? Well, introducing ancienter aliens.
Yeah, I know there's fucking idiots out there who are like, oh, there was a super hyper advanced civilization before the end of the last ice age. Well, I am going to blow everyone's minds by like, I've got a better one. Dinosaurs built the pyramids.
Try 65 million years ago.
And yeah, we get to see the Grimlock's fucking video of his friends who were all real dinosaurs, who once again built a fully functioning replica of the Ark's command room out of a side of a mountain. And it's okay. So look, I know that it's a dumb fucking show for babies or whatever, right? Like it's a fucking cartoon, but this is egregious.
I'm an intellectual, and this is a media for intellectuals.
This selection of dinosaurs is fucking egregiously bad. All right, so number one. Let's line it up, shall we? It's welcome to Nero's Dinosaur Corner. You motherfuckers better sit down and learn.
Oh.
Number one, Tyrannosaurus
they're on it
Rex.
now.
Tyrannosaurus Rex lived at the very end of the Cretaceous period, and it is only in North America. It is a North American dinosaur. There are other tyrannosaurids scattered all over the world at various other times, but they specifically identify Grimlock as a T-Rex, okay? So that means...
Because he's king of the dinosaurs.
Because he's king of the dinosaurs. So, Triceratops, that's fine. They did indeed coexist. Though Triceratops and Tyrannosaurus Rex are known to have been in the same place at the same time. That's true. There's a fucking Brachiosaurus here, which is a Jurassic animal. So that's a few 100 million years out of place. There's a Velociraptor here, which is only about 10 million years out of place, but also lived in Asia. So, I don't know what he's doing here. And then there's a fucking... What is going on with this tiny Spinosaurus?
Yeah, the Spinosaurus is pretty funny.
Spinosaurus famously funny. Large.
Yeah, first of all, the Spinosaurus is funny for, like, a number of reasons. One, it's not even that popular a dinosaur.
I feel like it's getting more popular now that people know how weird it is.
I guess.
Also, there's a pteranodon visible, like, behind Grimlock there.
But, like, my point is, like, for kids, right? Like,
yeah.
It is not, like, an easily... I mean, it does have a very easily recognizable silhouette.
Yeah, very distinct. Actually, one of the most distinct-looking dinosaurs, if we're being real here. But I know what you mean. It's not exactly the classic grouping, and it's certainly not the classic grouping of Dinobots. Where the fuck is the Stegosaurus, huh? You have a Brachiosaur. As long as you're fucking putting Jurassic motherfuckers here in this the end of the Cretaceous period, just might as well put a fucking Stegosaurus there. Who gives a shit? None of you people care. None of you people fucking care about the sanctity of paleontology. All of you should be fucking tried in the dinosaur Hague. Also, Teletran X says it's a Jurassic era thing. Once again, not you fucking stupid orb. I'm gonna kick you like a football.
Well, those other dinosaurs aren't crew members.
Anyway, but just aside from the inaccuracies, just the subject, just the content of this video matches is also kind of insane.
Oh, absolutely. It is literally like fully sentient dinosaurs with Grimlock
that they're about to
giving
die.
a message about to die, giving a message to the future.
It's like we know there's a meteor on the way that will kill approximately 70% of all life on Earth, and we're just chill with it, you know.
Yeah, Grimlock's like, it's fine. We just keep swimming. Yeah, anyway, this apparently does something to his memory to make him come back to being the gentleman adventurer we all know and love.
Yeah, he says, "Ooh, sometimes I forget myself." You know, yeah, he said a funny thing. This just makes me think of Maximum Dinobots from early on in IDW's run, where do you know how the Dinobots got on Earth? Because it's one, crazy, and two, involves Shockwave. Because what happened was they and Shockwave were stranded on Earth, adopted organic alt modes, and tried to murder him, and he was fucking buried in a tar. They were all buried in a tar pit, and then found by Hot Rod like 65 million years later. It's crazy out there. It's crazy out there. Anyway, that's the end of our episodes today. We've got quite a few questions, and I am attempting to keep my cat off of my desk. Just wait like 10 minutes, please. Anyway, we have one questorino on Twitter here from Jackie Asimov @Lock on Twitter, who says, "So, considering friend of the dinosaurs Sue, the skeleton in Chicago, is a non-binary ally, who is the most gender dinosaur, and why is it Triceratops?" Anyway, yeah, what's the most gender dinosaur? I disagree on it being Triceratops.
I think Dilophosaurus.
We do like a Dilophosaurus here. We love that funky headgear.
Yeah, I think accessories that can change based on your presentation.
I like the dinosaurs that are just truly mix and match freaks. Like the Therizinosaurs, which looked like gigantic turkeys with enormous claws, and are some of the only theropods that are herbivorous. Take us through the Twitter questions, would you please?
You mean the Discord questions?
Yes, Discord questions.
All right, from Remus the Gay, Daphnis. What is the most disappointing dinosaur fact you've learned? Also, what is the most exciting dinosaur fact?
All of them are exciting, and none of them are boring.
They're all exciting, but there are like disappointing ones, I would say.
What's a disappointing one?
I was disappointed to find out that Pachycephalosaurs didn't duel with their domes.
Right, because it would just slide right off.
No, because they would crush them into fine dust. They were not thick. Those are not thick bones.
Yeah,
They are.
that
They
is
were
kind
like
of
mating.
disappointing.
They were like mating displays, but like they were not used for like combat.
That is somewhat disappointing. That it's an iconic image. I can't really think of a disappointing one, but I like every time someone has a new crazy theory about Spinosaurus, where he's like, "Oh, is it amphibious? It's not amphibious. Is it partially amphibious? Maybe. Did it eat fish at all, or was it a scavenger, or was it a predator? No one knows what's going on with that thing. It's swerving on us, and I respect that."
Yeah. Now listen, I will say before this, that it is still debated what that dome on Pachycephalosaurus is used for, and some people still think it was used for. Some people still think it's used for was used for like headbutting, but like I trust my college professor who also has like discovered 2 dinosaur species and was on set at Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that sounds like
was like the curator of the Minnesota Science Museum for several years. So
paleontologists everywhere asking, "What that dome do?"
Yeah, I trust her over everyone else. Okay. From Slipstream Sam Real, keeping it simple. What's your favorite dinosaur? Also, what's your least favorite? The guy you just hate to see. I don't think I hate to see any of them.
Yeah, like what dinosaur do I hate to see? I like to see all of them. I wish I could see them in real life.
I do. I love hadrosaurs. And I have a special place in my heart for ankylosaurs.
I love ankylosaurs. I love anything that evolved to have weaponry.
And like that thing, oh man, it's so cool that the whole thing's just a weapon.
Yeah, just like it's a whole thing that says, "Don't fuck with me or I'll snap your ankles like they're fucking twigs, boy."
It's an armored tank. It's so cool.
Yeah, like truly evolution just said, "Fuck it, we ball" at the end of the Cretaceous period. It started getting wet and wild with it. I like ankylosaurs. I am a big fan of your dromaeosaur varieties. I think it's cool that there were just a bunch of 6-foot long knife birds running around Mongolia 76 million years ago. Shout out to velociraptors. But yeah, there are no shitty dinosaurs. And if
there are some shitty dinosaurs, but even the shitty ones I don't dislike.
Like, how could I dislike a dinosaur? Even if it's like your basic ass fucking, I don't know.
I mean, I will say some of the tyrannosaurs get pretty fucking stupid.
There's kind of the same guy over and over again with varying degree of bigness.
And smaller hands.
Yeah,
that's where it gets stupid.
You don't need hands when you have a head the size of a smart car that can crush bone into fine dust. Like,
but they look so silly.
They do look very silly. Actually, I think
silly.
My favorite dinosaur is actually Carnotaurus. I like Carnotaurus. Not as big or scary as it is depicted in the hit 2000 Disney animated film Dinosaur, but still pretty cool looking.
And speaking of Disney, Nero from Disney Minus asks, what song, besides The Touch and I'm Still Standing, would you put over the scene of Optimus saving Prowl?
I Need a Hero by Monty Tyler.
Fuck the Police.
Well, he's not doing that. You do that if you play that scene in reverse.
Yeah.
A version of the episode where Optimus drags Prowl away and leaves him to die. Fuck 12.
It's a mercy killing. The boys are back in town.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right. Also from Nero from Disney Minus, how would you feel if Bumblebee was the one to get Prowl and the show just posting All Quiet on the Western Front, where once Bumblebee carries Prowl to safety, Wheeljack tells him, "You're just carrying Prowl's dead body, Bumblebee. Officer down." So good.
That would happen in the Netflix show. That's what would I bet there's a moment like that in the War for Cybertron trilogy, because it's like dark.
It's so grim. It's so dark, and it's so gritty.
Yeah. It's dark in that it tackles dark themes, and it's also dark in that you can't see anything. Olivia Ramondelli art brought to life. Everyone looks the fucking same, and you can't see shit.
And finally, from Nero from Disney Minus, what do you think happened to the fellows in those other pods that flew out the ship? They're dead. With this being Grimlock's first appearance in any Transformers media, they wouldn't just add more dinosaur Transformers, right? What would they even call a group of dinosaur Transformers? Autosaurs?
I don't know. It's impossible to figure it out. Dino guys, I don't know. There's just
I think Autosaurs is pretty good.
There's no real way to, yeah, that's kind of the best way to combine dinosaur and Autobot. There's no better ways to do that, actually.
Robosaur.
Robo dinos. It's like a separate toy line. As I said, all of those guys who flew out of the ship are dead, and they crash into the moon. They're just dead. It's where this universe's version of Swerve went.
I mean, the only thing I would say that this proves that is that this universe is quite explicit when people die.
Well, I mean, we didn't know who's in there. Like, you know.
Yeah.
They're just gonna get into the moon and find somebody's fucking head.
Listen, they're very long-lived. They can float through space until they crash into an object for a long time.
That's true.
All right, we have a number of questions from Curly Straw Mystery. What dinosaur fact that people think is bad do you think actually rocks? I don't know. What dinosaur facts do people think is bad?
I want to know who has these bizarre opinions about dinosaurs. Like, this one's fucking stupid. I hate it. I know that there are people who are really anal about feathered dinosaurs for the same reason that they're really anal about Pluto being a planet, and it's because they learned a thing in kindergarten. They don't want to bother questioning knowledge they already had, I guess. They don't like to do that, so they just get mad at it instead. But actually, a lot of dinosaurs had feathers, and we're learning more and more about which ones did and which ones didn't.
Again, what I'm about to say here it is still debated, I think. But there's a lot of suggestions that some tyrannosaurs and other large carnivorous dinosaurs were scavengers.
Yes,
as opposed to hunters.
That is a heated debate. That will get you fucking killed in paleontology circles.
That's a very heated debate, and nothing has been settled for certain. But I think that, and I think the people who are like, no, they're mighty hunters, are very upset about the idea that they may not have been. I think it'd be cool if they were scavengers.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I'm sure the real answer is like it was a mix of both, right? Like, yeah, maybe they hunted sometimes, but they're not going to turn down a fucking big old carcass like, shit, free food, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they had the tools. I don't think anyone is debating whether or not they had the tools to kill. It's just a question of what their primary source of food was.
Yeah, like, did they do it often, or was it, who knows? No one knows.
Right.
We don't know them. They aren't around anymore. Did you know that dinosaurs are extinct?
Fuck, buddy, they sure are.
There's a fucking dinosaur fact for you.
And that's a certified rock fact.
That's right. They're taking that off HBO Max. I just remembered.
I know.
That David Zaslav, meet me in the fucking pit.
Just before spooky season 2. How heartbreaking.
Make you extinct. You bald piece of shit. I don't know if he's bald or not. He has... I've never seen a picture. Actually, I probably have seen a picture of David Zaslav. I've just fucking...
I'm pretty sure he's not. He is bearded.
Ugh.
Fuck that guy, though.
Fuck him.
Pay your writers and actors, motherfucker. Okay. Also from Curly Straw Mystery, who's who from Transformers in this political comic? And it's the one of the drone strike in the Middle East, and someone saying they say the next one will be sent by a woman. Really? And another person saying, really makes you feel like you're a part of history.
That was the Autobots after they debuted the female Seekers.
Yeah.
Let's add two right now. That was Swerve and Tailgate before being killed by Slipstream.
Okay, what is the coolest shield shape?
This is...
I'm a big kite shield fan.
Kite shields are good. I do like, a round shield gives you lots of stuff you can paint on it. I like a good tower shield, the big motherfuckers that are like taller than a man.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty cool. But it's not very versatile. You gotta like bring that to the right situation. Otherwise, you're gonna get strafed like a Dark Souls enemy. Kite shields. Yeah, I like the shape of kite shields. I like how big they are.
Yeah, that's what I like. I think they're like as large as you can get without being impractical.
Yeah, like a tower shield.
Correct. Yes, that is what I was referring to.
They should make a tower shield that's actually the size of a tower, but only a little man wields it. He stands on the third floor of the tower. This is my new Dark Souls boss. He's a regular sized guy, but he just has a really big shield.
From Software, look out. Not safe for work. If a fish swam up an Autobot spike and made it spin so quickly they could use it as a propeller to win a swimming race, who would the funniest Autobot for it to happen to be? And that would be Blur versus Skybite.
So it's like a team.
It happens to Blur in a swimming race against Skybite.
Okay, so Skybite is not the one who does it.
No.
Okay.
Because Blur wants so badly to win in any medium.
I don't know what caused you to fucking have this come into your mind, Cass, but thank you.
I'm pretty sure it's it's just the Windblade spinning rotors.
That's yeah. I guess I don't know how fish entered into the equation, but
yeah,
the physics of it are very confusing when you really try to think about it.
We do like to keep it light and fresh around here, so thank you, Cass. And finally, from Cass as well, don't you just love retro Australian TV show Round the Twist? Have never heard of it.
Maybe that's where the fish stick thing is from. I don't know. What kind of filth they put on? What kind of filth they put on Australian TV?
They're just innocent men.
This last one is a real puzzle.
Yeah, so this one is from Nero from Disney Minus.
I'll read this one because it is chiefly for me. I want to do the voice. Okay,
sibling. Go ahead.
We are two sides of the same brain, so answer me this: fuck, marry, kill, Grimlock, and Grimlock. Okay, we need to decide which 3 Grimlocks these are.
All right. Well, it's got to be the 3 that we've seen.
I'm gonna say okay.
It has to be G1, TFA, and Cyberverse.
Yeah, okay. Because I don't want to kill any of them. I'm gonna kill Rid Grimlock because he's not Grimlock to me. That's just a different guy. I don't know.
You have to choose. You have to choose one of them. That's how the game works.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna fuck TFA Grimlock. No, G1 Grimlock.
Yeah, I'm fucking G1. I'm marrying Cyberverse, and unfortunately, yes. I am killing.
Sorry, I'm sorry, TFA Grimlock. You will have to die.
Yeah.
It's just the way this is where the world works, buddy. If
Again,
there were any other Grimlocks I could pull from, I would. Either Rid Grimlock, because once again, Rid 2001 Grimlock turns into a steam shovel, and Rid 2015 Grimlock, I'm pretty sure was literally supposed to be a different character until they just slapped Grimlock on there. So those guys don't really count.
And bonus killing Age of Extinction Grimlock. It's a mercy kill.
That is, you don't have to be in the movies anymore, which he kind of isn't. So
right. Congratulations.
But that'll bring us to the end of our episode here.
Or Transformers Power Hour, as we like to call it, as you all know. Right.
We're changing the name of the podcast.
our famous bit where we call this the Transformers Power Hour, which we've said every episode.
That's right. Of course, we have been Prime Cuts. You can find us on Twitter at Prime Cuts Pod. We should probably get a co-host or something up at some point so that people can not exist on that melting island of nightmares. See, Elon's been started to block all of the weird little blue check gremlins who are complaining about being shadow banned. He started to block those guys now. Those are the only dudes you have left, man. Those are your only guys. You can't be mad at them.
I'm gonna be here until this site dies. It's so good.
You know, I really hope he commits to the bit with his low tax speedrun. Is all I'll say.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, really.
I'm Nir. You can find me on Twitter at Dragon Smoocher, on co-host at Dragon Snuggler, and on Tumblr at Cyclonus with a 5 at the end. I should check to see if that URL is available now. Last time I checked, it wasn't, but things change.
Keep checking sporadically, yeah.
Various other projects, various other places. Ready for Heidelin. That is on Tumblr at heidelinradio.tumblr.com, or maybe radiofreehighland.tumblr.com. I forget, but should have a new episode of that up this week. And I've also got Talk Cycles, which is at talkcycles.tumblr.com. Teen Titans Season 1.
With your socials now.
That's right. They're up. They've got it's on its own feed too. So you can listen to our Talk Cycles episodes on Infinity Train, Books 2 and 3, Gravity Falls Season 1 and 2, and coming up this month, Teen Titans Season 1. Should be fun. And that is it for me.
I'm Audrey. You can find me on Tumblr, Twitter, co-host, and Blue Sky now at Optimum on Prime. My funny robot internet joke. You can also listen to the other podcast I do called Pot of Greed. It's about Yu-Gi-Oh! I have been cast in a radio drama that will hopefully be releasing information about it very, very soon. And I'm starting a foodie podcast on Moonshot Network called I'm Eatin' Here. Also, it will be too late by the time that this episode comes out for you to watch it live, but there will be a video on demand. Speaking on Moonshot in 2 days on Thursday, I will be in a stream of a tabletop game of MILF Manor.
What a sentence.
Where I will be playing Mallory Archer.
So is it split between two teams, the MILFs and the boys?
No, everyone plays a MILF and one of the other MILF's sons.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So which son are you?
Actually, only one of us chose to be the son as the main character. And that is someone who chose Future Trunks, so I'm being Bulma as well.
Yeah. All right. Let's go, Bulma.
But that'll be a video on demand for Moonshot. That's it for me. We're on Noisepace. Bunch of other good shows there. We talk about them all the time. Just go check it out. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of new shows have been added recently, actually. So, exciting stuff happening there every day. And I think that's it for us. Oh, well, you can find us on Twitter at Prime Cuts Pod.
Join the Discord.
Join the Discord. You'll be just in time soon for Age of Extinction. Not Age of Extinction. Sorry, Last Night.
The Last Night. Oh, God.
Which you might have to show, dude.
I haven't. That's the only one I haven't seen yet.
Yeah,
and
but guess what? I'm going to be out of town again.
I'm so scared.
I'm going to be perfectly out of town again, so.
Who's ready for Merlin suddenly?
Yeah. I think that's it then. So, until next time, I am going to do a wheelie in a forklift. Transform and roll out.
I am going to use the entire power of a small metropolitan area to wake up in the morning, transform and roll out.
God, wouldn't that be nice? Peach!
Peach!